Has officially begun. After last night's action, the magic number now stands at 4. With October drawing near, fans of the orange and black are buzzing with excitement. And tonight, the buzz will only get louder as Tim Lincecum takes the hill. The two-time Cy Young winner is looking to continue the magic number countdown. And it's all coming up next.
We are back at 3rd and King. Fans outside the ballpark filing in as we get ready, and so are they for Game 2 of this 3-game series, Giants and Diamondbacks. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. A nice win for the Giants last night. They're 2 up on the San Diego Padres, who will be here on Friday night. But the business at hand right now are the Arizona Diamondbacks, and they love to play the spoiler role. And Tim Lincecum is going to get the baseball against a lineup that is a pretty tough lineup.
Well, it's a very tough lineup. It's a very dangerous lineup with lots of power. Now, they do like the spoiler role. They spoiled the season for the Colorado Rockies when they had them in their yard last week. Well, tonight it's Tim Lincecum, who lifetime against this team 6-2, and he is also on a September roll, 4-1 with a 2.08 ERA. He's throwing with as much confidence as we've seen him throw really in his whole career. So from a fan's perspective, if you like good pitching, you're at the right place, because Ian Kennedy, the right-hander for the D-backs, he's quality arm as well.
As far as the lineup goes, it's the same lineup as last night. Fontenot is at second base. All right, when we come back, it's the anniversary of what some people think is the greatest postseason catch of all time. The Say Hey Kid in action. Amy G is going to take a look at that catch and much more right after this.
Mobile broadband network. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Toyota. More people say yes to Toyota than any other brand in California. Learn why at your Toyota dealer today.
Just 5 games left in the regular season. Your San Francisco Giants sit in first place in the NL West, 2 games up of the Padres. Tim Lincecum on the hill for the men in orange and black tonight as the Giants look to take Game 2 of this 3-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Welcome back to AT&T Park. I'm Amy Gutierrez, and we have seen some incredible plays made by Giants outfielders so far this season. Acrobatic snags, running up the center field wall for a grab, even diving catches. But it's hard to find a playmaker comparable to that of the legendary Willie Mays. On this date in Giants history, September 29th, 1954, the Say Hey Kid made the catch. It's considered the iconic image of Mays' playing career, and it is our Ford Right choice this evening.
There's a long drive, way back in center field, way back, it is Willie Mays just brought this crowd to its feet with a catch which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people.
The catch preserved a tie game. The Giants went on to win that game. In the 10th inning, Willie Mays scored the winning run. Will a historic play be made tonight? Could be. You got to stay and watch. We got Game 2 coming up in moments. But after these messages, we're going to check in with our Sportsnet Central studios for an update. Stay with us.
Tim Lincecum. Our game time weather is brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. 68 degrees here at the Yard. We got winds at 10 miles per hour, 62% humidity, and the forecast is it's going to get a little cooler. Let's take a look at the D-backs lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be Drew Abreu and then Kelly Johnson. Kelly Johnson's red hot, followed by Chris Young and then Adam LaRoche. Montero, Allen, Parra will hit 8th, Kennedy 9th.
All right, let's take a look at the Giants defense. It's brought to you by Black Diamond Brewing Company. It'll be Burrell, Torres, and Guillen. That's your outfield. Uribe, Sandoval on the left side of the infield. Fontenot and Huff on the right side. Buster Posey will be in the squad putting down the signs. And the man on the bump tonight will be Tim Lincecum. Let's check out his stats. They're brought to you by your Bay Area Hyundai dealers. 33rd time he's taken the ball. 15-10 on the year, and he is having an exceptional month of September. 4-1 with a 2.08 ERA. And when he's right, he can get you with 4 pitches. A fastball, a curveball, a slider, and a split that he calls a changeup. All are swing and miss pitches, which accounts for the 220 strikeouts. 3rd year in a row, he's gone over the 200 strikeout mark. He leads the National League in strikeouts. You mentioned 6-2 lifetime with a 2.71 ERA against the Diamondbacks, and that's in 13 starts. In 93 innings against them, he has struck out 110. He's walked 21. And he's throwing now with as much confidence as he's thrown all year.
So Lincecum to face these Diamondbacks, who have won 2 of their last 3, losing last night by a final of 4-2 here at AT&T Park. It'll be Drew, Abreu, and Johnson, 3 left-handed hitters facing Tim Lincecum. So we are just about ready. The fans are ready for the first pitch of this ball game. And it is on its way, and it's a called strike.
91-mile-an-hour fastball right out of the velocity of his last outing was 93-94 early on.
Drew, it's a drive to right. Looking up is Guillen, and it is gone. And that's how this game gets started. A leadoff home run, and it's 1-0 Arizona.
An 0-1 breaking ball that had some big league hang time on it. And Drew just hit his 15th home run of the year. Right up at the belt. That's just a hanger. Say when you start building your curveball, you start from the ground up. If you miss, you want to miss down below the zone, then you bring it into the strike zone. You don't want to start high.
Here's Tony Abreu. Abreu hitting .238. A home run, 12 RBIs as he fouls this one back. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the souvenir. Third time Drew has led off a ball game with a home run. Out of play, 2-2. That for Drew now, he's hit for the cycle lifetime against Lincecum. He's had 3 doubles, 2 triples, and now a home run. Hit up the middle. Fontenot to his right. He will make the play. 1 out.
Let's take a look at the Giants' Toyota keys to the game. First off and foremost, find the cotton. You can't be too geeked up. I know it's September baseball. I know there's a pennant race, but you've got to stay calm. And keep the line moving. Offensively, just keep feeding off the guy in front of you. Set it up for the next guy. And 3, let's give them early zeros. You don't want to ever put your team in a hole to try and dig out of. Not in a big game.
Kelly Johnson takes a strike.
I mean, 1 won't hurt you.
No. 284, 26 home runs. 70 driven in. It's low. Lincecum with his 33rd start. Both these starters pitching for the 5th time against the opposition. That pitch is up high. On deck is Chris Young. 3 balls and 1 strike. And the walk to Kelly Johnson with 1 out. And here's Chris Young. Lincecum's last start of Friday night in Colorado, he allowed 1 run. He went 8 innings, 2 hits, no walks, and 9 strikeouts. Chris Young, 5 for 36 lifetime. He's got a couple of doubles and a home run. But Lincecum has also struck him out 13 times, and that pitch is a high strike, and it's 0-1.
He's definitely not throwing as hard as he was in his last outing. And now his fastball on average is right around 90. But more importantly, he's not able to locate the knees with his specialty pitches. Cutter, the changeup, curveball are all high right now.
Big bouncer over third base coach Joe Youngblood. No balls and 2 strikes. Randy St. Laurent all over that, but couldn't quite beat the bat boy to it. 0-2 to Chris Young. In the dirt, 1-2.
If you're going to miss, that's where you want to miss early on. Until you really know what your pitches are going to do, you have to say to yourself, I'm going to start this thing low, let its movement take it down, and then you gauge the movement you have, the command that you have, then you elevate it up. It's a hard thing to just say, I want to throw a perfect strike right there at the knees of your first pitch, because you really don't know what it's going to do. Good pitch.
2-2.
Stuff you have on the side of the bullpen is totally different than what you get out there in the main line.
A home run, a ground ball, and a walk. And Lincecum about to throw his 17th pitch here in the first inning as he will check on the base runner, Kelly Johnson. The Padres and Cubs are underway in San Diego. Three and 2. So pretty good at bat for Chris Young. He's seen just about everything Lincecum's got.
Well, you had him ahead 0-2, and he threw 3 pitches down below. 2 sliders and that last pitch a changeup, but all pitches down below the strike zone. Good pitches. And to Chris Young's credit, pretty good takes.
Johnson goes. Young takes ball 4. And the hitter will be Adam LaRoche. LaRoche hitting .261, 24 home runs, 97 RBIs. Last night he went 1 for 4. No overshift for the Giants, although they play LaRoche to pull, and he fouls this one back. The month of August was not a good month for Lincecum, and that happened at the end of August as LaRoche put one into the cold.
Yeah, that was a first inning 3-runner. The hanging changeup, that pitch was up.
Nothing in 2.
91 mile an hour fastball in the hands, perfectly placed. That was a good pitch. Nice play. Buster Posey fan. Oh, yeah.
See? I told you we needed to bring a glove, and that's why.
Let's go, Grandpa. let's check out the effort. Brought his glove, had him played perfectly, makes the snag. That's my grandpa.
Oh, yeah, and then he had to hold up the sign. Yeah. Right in front of where the writers are situated here at this ballpark. If he hadn't caught it, Ray Rado would have. Not. 0-2 to LaRoche. Got him.
Good changeup, and suddenly it's come to life. You saw his fastball build from 89 to 92, but perhaps the best pitch was the changeup. Great arm action, good sell job. There you see the split, and that is our Ultra Mo brought to you by your Bay Area Hyundai dealers. Really gives you a good example of just how much snap he has on the release of that split. A big strikeout.
Here's Montero. Montero 1 for 3 with a walk in the game last night. And Lincecum places that up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Johnson at second, Young at first. On the ground, Aubrey Huff. This will end the inning. A run on the home run. 2 left. Giants coming up. Torres, Fontenot, and then Aubrey Huff. The cleanup hitter will be Buster Posey, followed by Pat Burrell. Yen in the 6th slot, then it's Juan Uribe. In September, 13 RBIs. Very nice. Sandoval 8th, Lincecum 9th.
Let's take a look at the Diamondback defense. It'll be Allen, Young, and Carr. That's your outfield. Drew Abreu on the left side. Johnson, LaRoche on the right side. Montero will be in the squad putting down the signs. And the gentleman on the bump tonight for the Snakes is Ian Kennedy, the 6-foot, 195-pound right-hander, 25 years old, out of Huntington Beach, California. He's in his 2nd year at the big league level. There you see his numbers. He was voted the outstanding pitcher of the year this year for the Diamondbacks, 9-9 with a 3.76 ERA. You see a high 3/4 release, a fastball, but it'll go high 80s, low 90s, depending on the grip. He's got a curveball, a slider, and a changeup, and he can strike you out with all 4. He's got a very good idea about command.
First pitch to Andres Torres is down low, hitting .268. 15 home runs, 61 driven in. He's 2 for 14 against Kennedy. Shoots this one to left field, and Torres has got a base hit. The quicker you can get this crowd into it, the better for all.
And that's exactly the goal tonight. Get this crowd into it early. Amazing energy in the ballpark. Last night it was incredible. Tonight it's the same. It's going to build all the way through Sunday. You want to get this crowd into it as quick as you can. The way you do it, some early runs.
Fontenot hitting at .286. And it looked like he was taking all the way, and it's 0-1. Last night, Fontenot went 1 for 3. He knocked in a run and he scored a run in his 2 for 3 lifetime against Ian Kennedy. One ball and 1 strike. Torres with 23 steals. He's been thrown out 7 times. We talked to him right before we came up to the broadcast booth, and he said everything is fine. Down the left field line, that'll be in the seats. It's 1-2.
You look at the lifetime numbers that Kennedy has against the Giants. He's 1-1, but with an excellent 2.2 ERA, 28 2/3 innings. He's only allowed 16 hits and 11 walks. He has struck out 27. Those are good numbers.
Kind of a sidearm toss to first, and Torres gets back. Aubrey Huff in the on-deck circle, 1-2 to Fontenot. Torres goes. Breaking ball, throw down to second. Not in time. Well, it's really interesting. One, I thought it could have been a strike, and the other is I thought he was going to be out at second.
Well, from the time he starts, the time he hits the bag, Andres Torres gets to second base in 2.94 seconds. And a very compact delivery from Kennedy, who will give you a good chance to throw. I mean, everything that the Diamondbacks did was almost perfect. With that type of speed from first to second, it's tough to beat.
2-2 to Fontenot.
You watch the jump, quick acceleration, doesn't take him long to get going. And for any of us who are concerned about him going on his belly after his appendicitis attack and having his appendix removed, no worries.
That's what he asked him. Can you make a diving catch? He said, stop. Of course. Sorry, I asked. 3-2 pitch. Hit into center field. And Young will put it away. Torres bluffed like he was going to tag. 1 out.
Well, that's your job at second base, and you have to make that outfield and make a hard throw. So the bluff worked. No score in San Diego. Comes in Padres, top of the 7th. Chris Young, the big right-hander on the hill for the Padres.
Diamondbacks better keep an eye on Andres Torres. He has stolen third a number of times this year. Here's Huff. Huff takes a fastball high. 0 for 3 last night with a walk and a strikeout.
Four for 13. He sees him well.
Swing. You're going to miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Good healthy rip from Aubrey Huff to get the kinks out. Now you're loose. Buster Posey on deck. Inside corner strike, 1-2.
Front door sinker, got that little two-seamer right back across that inside corner. And this is something that Kennedy does very well. He totally understands the movement of his fastball and how to take advantage of it. He can throw darts. Strike 2, courtesy of Greg Maddux.
Look out, 2-2. Giants 16 games over 500 at home. They're 46-30. They're 11-5 against the Diamondbacks this year. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On the ground to Drew. And Drew will throw out Huff. 2 outs. And here's Buster Posey. Posey 5 for 9 against Kennedy, so he's got good numbers. Swing and a miss.
First pitch changeup. Think about Buster Posey. You get him with one in the bat. Awfully difficult to get him with the second pitch same way.
Oh, 2.
So he comes right out the changeup with a fastball.
So candidates for Rookie of the Year: Hayward, Sanchez, Buster Posey, Jaime Garcia. And you can also add to that list that kid in Chicago that plays shortstop.
Starling Castro. A lot of talented rookies this year in the big leagues, especially a lot of pitchers.
0-2 to Posey. Kennedy chasing Torres back. Stephen Drew led the game off with a home run into the arcade. In the dirt, 1-2. If I recall, you used to say that that's bad luck.
It is. You're not allowed to kill your momentum in the first inning, regardless of what you do.
1-2. I remember there was a game where you said, yeah, that's bad luck. And then Andres Torres hit one in Philadelphia to lead off the game. And for whatever reason, you changed your tune.
Well, yeah. It doesn't apply to Philadelphia, and it doesn't apply to left-handed hitters in Philadelphia. There's exceptions to every rule.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Kennedy now gets the sign from Montero. And Posey hits one on the ground to Drew. And that'll end the inning. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We'll enter the second. 1-0 Arizona.
Lincecum likes to throw at each pitch count. You could get that information. Let's check out the 1-2 and 2-2 counts. He likes to throw his changeup. The 1-2 counts, he throws that fastball 34% of the time, the changeup 41% of the time. But look at the 2-0 and the 3-1. 80% of the time you're going to get a fastball. And this is information that hitters have on it. And that's your Bloomberg Sports graphic. The leader in data analysis. They've developed an analytical product being used by baseball clubs. There's also a product for fans. Improve your fantasy player, track your favorite player and team. All you have to do is go to BloombergSports.com for details.
Here's Brandon Allen. Takes a belt tie strike. Allen hitting at .273, a home run, 5 RBIs. Followed by Gerardo Parra and then Ian Kennedy. This will be the bottom 3 in this Diamondbacks lineup. 2 balls and a strike.
With his back absolutely up against the wall, the most dangerous hitter, their RBI leader, he comes back and he strikes out Adam LaRoche. And since that time, everything has gotten a little bit quicker. A lot of times you slow your body down, your stuff will get better. Especially early on in the game, you're all jacked up.
Got him.
Beauty. And again, you're starting to see him locate his specialty pitches down below the knees, and that's where they're effective.
Well, visit the official online shop of the Giants at sfgiants.com for the largest selection of authentic postseason caps, t-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and more. sfgiants.com shop. Here's Parra hitting at .259. 3 home runs, 29 driven in. He's 2 for 12 against Lincecum, and he takes a fastball for a strike. This is rolled foul, and it's 0-2.
Had a little hump in his breaking ball early in the first inning. That's gone. It's a nice quick breaking ball now. So he has found his rhythm.
And a shot up the middle, and that came on an 0-2 pitch, and that allowed Kennedy to try to lay down a bunt. So Kennedy will try to get Parra into scoring position.
You can't just assume he's going to bunt, though. I mean, he really handles the bat well, and he's one of those guys that's very good at the butcher play, where he'll show bunt, come back, slap.
(0-1) to Kennedy, and Kennedy bunts this one, and he bunts it right to Aubrey Huff, who will flip it to Fontenot. And down to second goes Parra. 3-4 on the sacrifice bunt. Padres have taken an early 1-0 lead on the Cubs in the second inning.
Well, the one great thing about the wild card is that you don't just look at your own division anymore. Today, the Atlanta Braves won. They beat Florida 5-1, but Houston beat Cincinnati 2-0.
Drew swings and misses, and it's 0-1.
And those are significant games for Giants fans. But in the National League West, the Giants have a 2-game lead over the Padres. The Braves with a 2-game lead over the Padres. The Giants do have a magic number 4. Any combination of Giants wins and Padre losses totaling 4, and it's over.
Everything else is sewed up. It's the West and it's the wild card.
Andres Torres playing very shallow in defense of Stephen Drew in center field.
Mike Riley jerked a little bit. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Set up right in that inside corner and look at Posey. I mean, he didn't really have to move his glove. And Mike Riley, I mean, he can be a little inconsistent on his corners. And Mike Riley is a better base umpire than he is a balls and strike guy. Balls and strike guys can frustrate you, but
2-2 to Drew. Get up the middle. Fontenot is going to keep the ball on the infield. And that was his job. And now Abreu is going to hit with 2 outs, runners at the corner.
Nice play. And that was his job. Do not let this ball get in the outfield. Nice 2-strike approach, back up the middle. Even though he couldn't get a handle, I'm not even sure even if he got a handle, they would have had a play on Drew. He runs well. You can see him eyeballing Parra at third base. And on the exchange, he got a little sloppy, but still, great job of stopping that ball. Ball gets in center field. It's 2-0.
Abreu bounced out to Fontenot in the first. And a strike, and it's 0-1.
You will get some high strikes from Riley. .40 pitches. He's had to work. A lot of stretch time. That's pretty much the same pitch that was called a ball earlier in this inning. And that's that inconsistency we were talking about. And a pitcher, when you work and you want that pitch, you work to go back to it 0-2, 1-2. You make that pitch and don't get it, and that's when it burns you a little bit.
Slowly hit. Lincecum is going to flip to Huff, and that'll end the inning. Pat Burrell will lead things off.
Man would argue with me, Lord of the Rings, but anyways, you're famous and it's your first time at AT&T Park. Are you enjoying yourself?
This place is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I could go on and on. I'm a big talker, but I like it.
You're kidding. You're with your friend Ned Lott. You guys are working on a movie up here. Ned, you convinced him, an LA Dodger fan, to come here. How'd you do it?
I just said you got to see this team. Nobody like it on the planet right now.
No, this team is going to win the World Series.
I was going to ask you to admit what you said earlier, and you're actually rooting for them, right?
Yeah, I mean, my team has not been a factor for a while, and this is the team. This is the team. I'm rooting for the Giants to win the World Series.
That coming from Rudy, and that is biblical, guys.
It's biblical. It's biblical.
Here's the 1-0 to Burrell, and he fouls this one straight back.
Gentleman about 3 rows below us reached up, made a play with his glove. Bring your glove, you get a ball. That's just the way it works. There you go.
Burrell hits one high and deep to left, but it's going to be in the park, and it's going to be out number 1.
I thought for a second he had it. Oh, yeah. And it's great when a guy comes in that you, as a player, you see in the movies, and you think it's very cool when a guy wants to be part of your vibe. And there is definitely a glow coming out of that dugout.
Here's Guillen. He looks at a strike. I don't know, it looked to me like Amy G was a big Lord of the Rings fan.
Yeah, she likes Sam Ganji.
I think
not a problem.
She wanted to plant herself right down there. Maybe watch a couple of innings. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
I tell you, he's so deceptive with his arm action on the fastball changeup combo. Did the same thing to the Giants in Arizona. I mean, he just moved it around, changed location, mixed movement, speed. Got an idea he could pitch.
Foul back. Juan Uribe to follow. Kennedy now winds and throws to Guillen, and he strikes him out swinging. All right, let's go for an update. Let's go to the Comcast Sportsnet studio. It was not a strikeout to Guillen. Guillen actually got a piece of it, so it stays 1 and 2. And now it's 2 and 2.
This little subtlety there, just go down below the strike zone with off-speed stuff, elevate with fastball, change your sight lines.
Full count. One nothing Arizona. Stephen Drew led off the game with a home run. The payoff pitch to Guillen, and he walked him. Giants Baseball is brought to you by the Solar Company. Call 877-60-SOLAR or visit thesolarco.com to learn about their lease option, which expires on October 15th.
Well, she's leading the cheer. Ooh, Uribe. Good job.
You just got to know your responsibilities here at the park. First pitch strike, and it's 0-1. Uribe hit his 23rd last night. He's 1 RBI behind Aubrey Huff. He's got 84. And a quick 0-2. That's what you see. You see paint.
That's what he does. I mean, it's knee high, it's inside corner, outside corner. He changes the movement. He uses 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastballs. Stavros is down. He goes up, changes sightlines.
Top 6 foul.
He just doesn't really give you a pitch, a speed, a movement that you're looking for. And a guy like that, especially when he's hitting the spot, you just can't think getting long with. You can't get greedy to the home run. You got to take what he gives you. And the best way to approach him, especially early in the game, is to go the other way. Take out the field.
0-2 to Uribe. Another very nice crowd here tonight. I think we were told around 37,000-38,000?
Yeah, 38 supposedly.
One and two.
Giants trying to get this crowd into it.
And Uribe fouled it off his fist. This was the home run last night.
Yeah, this one last night felt better than that last one he just took. Last night it was a hanging breaking ball, and he just nutted it halfway up the bleachers in left field. High and majestic. And it lit this place up.
One and two. Here it is. Shot down the left field line. Hooking foul. And a new bat for Uribe.
Let's see. He get just out on the end of the bat. And I hooked it. Tell you, when he first threw the bat head to the ball, that thing jumped. I'm thinking, all right. Two-base hit.
New lumber for Uribe with Yen at first. And one out.
2-2. That's a good pitch. Little paralysis fastball, 0-2, 1-2. I mean, that's such a good pitch.
Hey, as long as it's a make you think pitch.
And you know, a guy like Uribe is aggressive. He's got that reputation. A lot of times he'll swing at that.
Got him. 2 outs, first strikeout for Kennedy. Here's Sandoval.
Big curveball. He starts it on the outside corner and lets the movement fall out of the zone. And there's the example of an aggressive hitter.
Sandoval a good night last night. 2 for 3. Has had his struggles though against Kennedy. 2 for 12. One nothing Arizona here in the second. Sandoval hits one up the middle just to the right of Kelly Johnson, and that'll end the inning. No runs, a walk, one left through 2, 1-0. D-backs. would do well on Dancing with the Stars.
Well, I have to crack of the bat would say Dan runs there, except he'd probably blow out a couple of kneecaps.
Yeah, he would hurt himself in the first practice. Here's Kelly Johnson, followed by Chris Young, and then Adam LaRoche. First pitch strike. It had to be Andres Torres, right?
Well, he'd be good. Bobby Huff. He could pull it off. Well, I think Juan Uribe would be the guy who'd be most fun to watch.
Would do well, or would be most fun to watch?
Would be most fun to watch. He would be very entertaining.
Oh yeah, eye black, ready to roll.
Gamer.
1-2 to Johnson.
Gamer Babe from Half Moon Bay. See ya. Good hook right there. The Giants baseball is brought to you by The Social Network in theaters October 1st. The Social Network.
Here's Chris Young, who's taking his time. LaRoche to follow. Young drew a walk in the first inning.
I mean, Andres Torres will probably win Dancing with the Stars.
Maybe that guy would too. And then maybe not.
Maybe not.
Up the middle, off of Lincecum. And then it'll roll into center field for a base hit. For a one-out single. And the hitter will be Adam LaRoche, who struck out in the first.
A lot of balls back up the middle this year against Lincecum. Much more than the previous couple years. This one just catches a piece of him. Hits his glove.
Almost caught it.
Anytime it hits your glove, you think you should catch it.
Just get your hand out. That's all. So here's LaRoche. Overshift is on. And the first pitch is a strike.
89-mile-an-hour fastball for strike one. This stuff, fastball-wise, is definitely short of where it was his last outing.
In the dirt, swing and a miss, nothing in two.
Still has a lot of swing and miss in the ball game, however.
Got him.
And there's the Mike Riley high strike. Just right up there and freezes them, only because you're just not used to seeing a lot of belt high strikes called. And by definition of the rule book, I mean, that's the strike zone. You don't see many guys call knees and the belts both. Mike Riley will do so.
It's a strike.
See you later.
I'm trying to figure out the years where that did not become a strike. It was a strike when I played.
I remember it used to be more of an American League strike. Collectively, the umpires in the National League, more of a low ball crew, more of a sinker ball league.
Young goes, swinging a foul, straight back.
You got to look in. I mean, he had no idea where the ball was, ever.
0-2. See if Young goes again. He does not. And he got him swinging with a 91-mile-an-hour fastball in on his hands. Lincecum will lead things off.
Giant center fielder Andres Torres underwent an appendectomy and faced possibly not playing again during this season, but last night he finished his first full game. He had a great game, hit a triple, scored a run, and I spoke to him afterwards, and he said the key to getting back so soon was simply staying positive. He also said he's not overdoing it in his workouts, guys. He's taking less batting practice, running less, and trying to take it easy, saving it for a game. The only thing he hadn't done was slide on his belly. Looks like he's doing okay from that. Dwayne?
Yep. He's passed all the tests. And as Lincecum takes a strike. They're not giving Lincecum a whole lot of respect in the outfield, I got to tell you.
I know, they're jamming him.
Very shallow, off the line at third is Abreu. Lincecum's been known to poke one right over the bag at third. And he's out swinging.
Well, Giants baseball is brought to you by Big O Tires. Post your comments about the San Francisco Giants on the Big O Tires sports blog at csnbayarea.com. Big O Tires. Well, this will be interesting to see how the Giants make their adjustments against Kennedy starting the second time through the lineup. I got an idea about him now, and just about everything he has is working.
Breaking ball for a strike.
Giants' only hit of the night came off the bat of Andres Torres in the first inning, and it was an opposite field single. Yeah, I think that's the approach you have to have.
The last time.
Make a play.
The last time that Kennedy faced the Giants, 8 innings, 2 hits, no runs. That was the Nate Sherholtz extra inning double that knocked in a pair, and the Giants won 2-0. Lifted out to left is Allen will move back, and now he comes in, 2 outs. Here's my friend Chris Beeman. How's he doing? Not bad. Not bad for a domer. But he stepped on his foot, and that's not good.
You lost style points. You had everything going, but step on your foot, you get no dates. None. Dead giveaway.
He's in trouble anyway. It's his wife's birthday tonight, and he's a ball dude.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
Anyway, happy birthday, Jill. 1-0 to Fontenot. Imagine how the conversation went. Hey, Jill, I got you something for your birthday.
What's that, huh?
I'm going to be a ball dude.
Peachy.
Two-0 pitch to Fontenot is a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. I got to believe if you're a pitcher, you got to like Mike Riley.
Well, yeah, he will give a wide strike zone. The problem is you get a strike early in the count, you'll go to it a 1-2-0-2 with a couple of guys on. You don't get it, and that frustrates you a little bit.
2-2.
So, yeah, I mean, his strike zone can be large, but no guarantee you're going to get it every time you hit a spot. And you want an umpire to be consistent with what he gives you. Even if it's a small zone, you have to know that if you make a pitch in a critical situation, you're going to get that pitch.
Fontenot fights it off. 51 pitches for Ian Kennedy.
So he's got kind of a dangerous strike zone, but you can't count on it.
Fontenot, another souvenir.
Well, a lot going on in that section.
I don't know. There's.
You tried to catch a ball with the big fist on it.
A lot going on in that section. Another foul ball.
Well, he tried to catch it with the big hand in a little hole there.
Somebody needs to give this guy a little bit of a clue.
Or in a glass of milk. Calm him down. Gamer.
2-2 pitch. Got him swinging to end the inning. 3 strikeouts for Kennedy. 4th inning coming up. September 30th, that's tomorrow. Giants and Diamondbacks. You can be one of the first 5,000 to donate food or $5 and go home with a Giants grocery tote bag presented by Visa. All proceeds will benefit the San Francisco Food Bank. And for tickets, go to sfgiants.com. Here it's 1-0 Arizona. And it's Brandon Allen to lead things off. Allen with a half swing. Lincecum has not had a clean inning or a 1-2-3 inning. He has thrown 56 pitches. He's got 5 strikeouts.
Well, he's still throwing with confidence. He doesn't have the velocity on the fastball that he had in his last outing. His last outing, he opened up at 93, 94. And in his last inning, the 8th inning, he was still throwing 93, 94. Here he's been a little short of that. However, his specialty pitches, the slider, the curveball, and the split have all been good. And when he's missed now, since the only mistake he made with the curveball was the first hit of the game, Stephen Drew hit the home run and a hanging breaking ball. Since the first, he's been missing down below the zone.
Took out the side in the third.
Kelly Johnson with a good curveball. Then he gets Adam Roach frozen on a high strike to Miguel Montero. See you later.
Here it's 2-2 to Allen. And a full count.
Slider's such a new toy for him because it has different movement. Before it was almost like a cutter. It was flat. A little 4 to 6 inch slide. Now it's got a little downward bite to it, a little 2-plane break, and it's a good swing in this pitch.
Line drive to right. It'll be a base hit. Ian gets to it.
And just like that, he's right back in the stretch. Time now for our trivia questions, brought to you by AT&T. Rethink Possible. The question tonight: who are the 2 National League pitchers since World War II to lead the National League in strikeouts for 3 straight seasons? Just think about that.
Here's Parra. Parra single in the second. Allen goes, swinging a fly ball to left. It's going to be Burrow who put it away, and Allen retreats.
Let's give him 1.27 on the stretch. That's good. You do that with Buster Posey, more often than not, you're going to get that runner at second. I don't care how fast he is. I've had consistent times of Posey between 185 and 190, and that's elite. That's the time that the ball hits his glove, the time he catches it, the time he hits the shortstop or second baseman's glove at second base. That's when you stop the stopwatch.
And a strike is Kennedy showed early bunt. He had a sacrifice bunt in the second. There's Joe Youngblood, an old teammate of both of us. Very high, 1 ball and 1 strike.
As we mentioned, Kennedy handles the bat well. If you see him have the bunt play early in an at bat, no guarantee it's going to stay that way throughout the whole AB.
Quick toss to first, and Allen retreats.
Bruce Bochy wanted to see the same thing. If maybe after he shows bunt, he may show signs of taking it back. More athletic you are.
Huff will take the out at first.
Nice play. Well, Sharks hockey is back. That's right. You can check out Sharks taking on the Blue Jackets live from Sweden. That game will be at noon on Saturday, October 9th. Pre-game live, 11:30 a.m. You'll see that on Comcast Sportsnet, California. It is just about time to tee it up for hockey.
Drew is homered, and he picked up an infield hit in the second. And a strike, and it's 0-1. Two 2-0 Padres over the Cubs. Blocked by Buster Posey to even the count. Let's see, that would be Will or Jack? Will. One ball and one strike. Two and one.
Steven Drew, a good middle in hitter, and he's very quick down at him. It's a lot of his powers in that middle inside of the plate. Doesn't necessarily have to be down. You saw him hit a high breaking ball early out, but he's got, I think, one of the quicker bats to that inside corner.
Pulls this one on the ground, foul. Even the count at 2-2. Matt Williams makes the play.
Plus, you get 2 hits your first 2 at bats. What are you thinking?
I'm going to get 5.
I mean, you're as confident as you can be.
Two and 2. And a full count with Abreu on deck. So the pitch count is going up for Tim Lincecum.
Now, he's been pretty steady, averaging about 20 an inning. It's about 5 too high.
Got him. Strikeout number 6. Huff, Posey, Burrow coming up.
So many fabulous places to watch this beautiful field, and we're in one of the newest ones right now. It's the Coors Light Silver Bullpen. It's a new addition to the park this year. The crowd's being very well behaved behind me, but you can see right behind me about 70 people can fit in right here. Anyone can go to that section, grab a beer, enjoy the game, or you can purchase your own leather seat over here. These are purchased per game, guys. Each game, go to sfgiants.com to purchase a seat. And Dwayne, these ladies bought your seat specifically, and they wanted to tell you something. We love you, Dwayne! Yeah, Dwayne! All right, Dwayne.
Woohoo! Dwayne's dames are alive and well.
Here's Aubrey up. Aubrey Huff takes a fastball high. There they are.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to party with that bunch? Come on.
I'm over there in the 6th inning. You're on your own. Huff takes a strike. He bounced out in the 1st inning. Giants have had 1 hit, and that was Andres Torres.
Well, nobody has gotten their back leg into a swing against that changeup all night long. That's how good that pitch has been. Fetch. Good boy.
1 ball and 2 strikes. On the ground, up the middle in a leadoff base hit. Off the bat of Aubrey Huff, and now Buster Posey is going to hit.
What is that thing made out of? I don't know. Right now, we're going to ask and answer our trivia question brought to you by AT&T. Rethink Possible. Who are the 2 National League pitchers since World War II to lead the National League in 3 straight strikeout seasons? Warren Spahn, Randy Johnson, and Lincecum could do it this year.
226 on the year for Lincecum. Here's Buster Posey. In tight, 1-0. Pat Burrell on deck. Two and 0. 60 pitches for Kennedy. So he may be right around the same pace.
They're looking for that guy all year.
Yeah, there's number 10.
Towards your
2-0. And it's low, and it's 3-0.
2-0 changeup, just a bit low. In September, he's leading the National League in ERA in the month of September. And that is something you very rarely see from a young arm. He's just got almost, at the end of this year, he'll have just about 2 months short of 2 years.
Posey takes the 4-pitch walk. And here's Pat Burrell.
Burrell just missed hitting one out his last at bat against Kennedy.
They got the spirit.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least 2 of them do.
Well, a reminder to tune into the NBC Bay Area Morning News Team for early news, traffic, and weather updates weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m.
Burrell hit a fly ball to left. And a strike, and it's 0-1. So Kennedy, after walking Posey on 4 pitches, make sure he jumps out in front, and he does. The look to second. Drive! Deep to left field! Out of here!
Oh, man.
Pops this one up behind home plate. Montero coming back, and Montero's going to make the catch.
Pat Burrell takes a fastball down and in like it's sitting on the first tee and yanked it out of here. Home run number 18, and he lit this place up. Wow.
Here's Uribe. Uribe takes low.
And the reaction from Tim Lincecum. And the fans out in right center, they can see the high arc of that majestic blow. And it was loud.
Mike Riley called that a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Down around the knees. And the big man just got both cheeks into it.
No swing, 3-1.
For a kid growing up rooting for the Giants, to become a Giant and then to have this much impact on a great season. Wow. He's got to be loving every minute of this.
I like his line. He uses it all the time. I could be sitting on a couch watching these guys. And then they called me. 3-2 pitch. On the ground, Drew. To his left, he's got it. He will take his time and throw out Uribe. 2 outs.
JT down in the dugout in uniform tonight.
Here's Sandoval. Bounced out in the second.
He was trying to hit one in the pond with that swing.
And a quick 0-2. I think Sandoval is a young guy. I think he gets wrapped up into this crowd. He sees what Burrow what he's done, and he wants to do it. He wants that crowd to be cheering him. And then he becomes just major over-anxious.
Now the whole thing is just trying to get him to keep a high backside, good posture, don't slide through, don't leave your backside. And an over-anxious hitter will do that. He'll jump on that front foot and he'll lose his back leg. And usually when you lose that back leg will bend and the shoulders will dip, and then you get your uppercut, and then you can't hit that high fastball.
Into left center field. Allen's going to cut it off. Sandoval will stop with a 2-out single.
Nice 2-strike at bat. And that wasn't a bad breaking ball either from Kennedy. I mean, he waited with that thing, went the opposite way. And this is what you have to do with Kennedy. You have to think the opposite way. Very patient, back spins it out the opposite gap. It's better balance right there. You can see his body right in the middle. Right in the middle of his feet. And if he could consistently do that, you'd start to see his average dramatically improve.
Well, when the Giants score 3 runs or more, that's the best winning percentage in the major league. Lincecum struck out in the 3rd. Swing and a miss. 0-1.
Five RBIs on the year.
And a strike to make it 0-2.
Three of those RBIs came back way in April when he was pitching against the Dodgers. A nationally televised game. A 3-hit day, 3 RBIs. And he sat on that 3 number for a long time.
Yes, he did. And Lincecum out swinging to end the inning. Pat Burrell with home run number 18 in a Giants uniform. And it's bye-bye, baby, and it lit this place up. And we've played 4. It's 3-1 Giants. MontereyBayAquarium.org/love. Pat Burrell's 3-run home run gives the Giants a 3-1 lead. And now Lincecum will go after Abreu, Johnson, and Young. 5 hits for the Diamondbacks. Abreu has bounced out twice. And a strike, and it's 0-1. So a shutdown inning is what Lincecum is looking for.
Yeah, he's looking for his first 1-2-3.
That's a high fastball to even the count.
You know, a shutdown inning, I think, is obviously a great momentum builder for you, especially when you come back from being down a run. But I think it even draws more importance when it's in the heart of the lineup. And there you see the success the Giants have had amongst the National League leaders. Kane on top at 90%. Lincecum with 87. I mean, those are tremendous numbers. Putting zeros up after your team score for you. You know, and they talk about it. It's something that they take great pride in. It really is a challenge. I remember when we were playing with Darrell Evans, you know, he'd buy you a dinner.
Got him.
Change up. See ya.
This is the home run by Pat Burrell.
3-runner. And what's your reward when you go back after the field at the end of the inning when you're a left fielder? There's your reward. And he hears every one of those claps.
Kelly Johnson down the left field line and out of play.
I mean, that's one of those applauds you just don't forget.
Well, the loudest I've heard this crowd until tonight was a home run that Pat Burrell hit against the Dodgers on a Saturday afternoon off of Jonathan Broxton in the 8th inning.
Giants trailing 1-0 that ball game. He put him on top with the 2-runner. Oh. Just missed at 92, and that's been his best velocity tonight. But he isn't overthrowing it, and he's able to locate it down around the knees, and that's important.
I like Mike Rather, and he throws the ball back. There was a time where he had a better arm than half the guys in the National League.
Well, he was a quarterback in college. And we were in Puerto Rico in winter ball, and he was one of the young umpires. This is back in 1976. He could throw it 75 yards.
Got him.
See ya, slider. And that's a different break on a breaking ball. These guys saw against him early in the year. It's a pitch that he learned from Kane. And now it's got 2-plane break on it. Before it had a little slide to it. And you cannot run up there and put it in a better position.
Well, if he's got the extra pitch and throws fewer changeups because he's got the slider, is that better for him, arm-wise?
Well, I don't think he's doing anything that is going to beat him up. Because a slider traditionally can take a lot of strength out of your shoulder. But any time you can have quick 2-plane break, that's an asset. I mean, it really is. But, I mean, a cutter is also an effective pitch as well to certain swing types. It's movement he knows how to throw. Anything you can do with the ball, any movement you can put on it, if you apply it to a swing type, you can get outs with it. But this guy's blessed. He's got 4 things he can throw at you where you can swing and miss. The fastball, the curve, the split, and now the slider. A lot to think about if you're a hitter.
And I didn't want to do that. That's a 4-pitch walk to Chris Young. That's the one guy that he's had trouble with tonight. And here's Adam LaRoche.
85 pitches.
Overshift is on for LaRoche.
I mean, just the way he gets the box in the wide open stance, you just sense that he's looking to yank the right field. Just inviting you in there.
1 ball and no strikes.
Kind of reminds you of Darrell Evans, the way he used to set up. And he was a dead pull hitter.
Yes, indeed. In the park to Pat Burrell. Side retired.
Shut down inning.
Top of the order coming up. Room only tickets are available for Friday night's game. That's a 7:15 start. That's an Orange Friday. So check it out. Go to sfgiants.com. Come on out. Friday night. We need to see you hanging from the rafters. I'm sure you will. And Andres Torres is going to lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Torres, Fontenot, and Aubrey Huff. And like an off-speed pitch at the knees. We'd like to send along our wishes to our director's sister, Jim Lynch's sister, Charmaine Mosier, who was watching this ball game. The 0-1 pitch to Torres is on the ground to Adam LaRoche. And the only thing that we're a little skeptical of is, watching her brother direct this game, she might have fallen asleep by now.
Well, her husband Dave will wake her up. They're up in McKinleyville watching the game. So Charmaine and Dave, glad to have you aboard with us. Giants Baseball is brought to you by the Social Network in theaters October 1st.
Here's Fontenot. Fontenot is 0 for 2. Game on.
Game on.
A few more innings, they might not be able to spell it.
Giants.
Fontenot hits one into left center field. Young, with those long strides, puts it away. 2 outs.
You watch Chris Young play center field, and he is a joy to watch play center field.
Yeah, he can play.
He is relaxed, graceful, and he can cover some grounds. And he may have as good a jump off the crack of the bat as anybody in the game. Good player.
Huff takes a pitch down low. Bruce Bochy was asked before the game about Freddie Sanchez, and he said he wants to play, but we're a little concerned if he's ready. Not playing him tonight gives him another day of rest, and he's available off the bench. Said we're very pleased to be able to have Mike Fontenot on this team.
Well, he has made a difference. In regards to Sanchez, he had a cortisone shot Monday, and usually a cortisone takes about 48 hours to really provide full benefit. So he's getting it.
3-1 to Huff. I also asked Bruce Bochy about Brian Wilson after his 5-out save last night. This is a really short answer. As Kennedy deals to Huff, and Huff pops it back and out of play.
Just missed that one.
Bruce Bochy said he's ready to go. I'll probably try to keep him away from more than a 3-out save. But he said Wilson is fine.
No, with Wilson, I think he's afraid to make promises, because he's been such a weapon down there at the end of the game.
And a base hit to left field for Aubrey Huff.
His swings were just too good in that at bat. He was starting to get a lot of back leg into it.
Well, there was a game in Arizona, I think. Bruce Bochy wouldn't tell me if this happened, but I believe he told Brian Wilson that he wasn't going to pitch, and it got a little weird, and Wilson got up on his own. And in a lot of ways, I don't think the manager was very surprised by that, but it didn't make him happy either.
Wilson's a throwback. He's one of those guys that if he's got a uniform on, he's ready to go.
Which is high to Buster Posey. The more I'm around him, the more I like him.
I definitely want him on my side of the fight, no question.
The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike to Posey, who walked in front of Burrell's home run in the 4th.
San Diego 3, Cubs nothing. Atlanta winners today against Florida, and the Cincinnati losers at home against Houston. Of course, that was kind of predictable. The Cincinnati loss, given the fact that they clinched last night, and I imagine they did have a little bit of a celebration going on in Cincinnati. They hadn't been in the playoffs since 1995.
Well, there's home field advantage at stake if you're the Cincinnati Reds.
Well, congratulations to the Reds for their division title. They earned it.
Posey hits a high drive to right. Back is Parra, and in front of 365, he's going to put it away. Posey disappointed. He's thinking, not here.
Slide for a stolen base. How safe was he? Well, he was safe by just about a little bit. And that's a Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by Frost Brewed. Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Here's Montero. Allen, Parra.
I think you're going to start seeing more teams defend this guy next year like you defend against Adam LaRoche. Put the shift on. Need another guy that looks to just yank.
One ball and one strike. Montero is bounced out to Aubrey Huff, and he's struck out. Pops this one up. Who's it going to be? It's going to be the big guy in front of the little guy. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
All right, fellas, it's time for the poll question. Check it out at csnbayarea.com. Who do you think has been the Giants MVP this season? Tough call. Let us know what you think, and then check out the results on Giants Postgame Live. Dwayne and Mike.
All right, thanks, Amy. Here's Allen. Brandon Allen. And a strike.
Nice, crisp, 12-6 snapper. Good curveball.
Foul.
Well, right back, same pitch. I mean, you could throw the same pitch again 3 times in a row, bounce on a home plate. Good chance he'll well at it. Or you could change sightlines with the fastball up. Slider back foot. Change up outside corner below the zone. Got 4 ways to strike him out. There's that change up.
2-2.
Next pitch for Lincecum will be 95.
Got him. 9 strikeouts.
Well, it's been a night to wave your K's. Beautiful changeup. I mean, that's, you can see the split. And it's such a great look to see how far he gets over his front foot in his release, and that release is right out front. He didn't have that great release in the month of August, but he refound it again in September. It's been there ever since. The month of September has been 4-1, 2.08 ERA coming into this game. It's been fantastic.
And there's a solid single into center field. And Ryan Church is going to hit, so Kennedy is going to be out of the ball game. Well, Church will hit. Church 4 for 8. With a triple lifetime against Lincecum. A lot of times that'll get you in the lineup.
You'd think.
First pitch strike, and it's 0-1.
Out of the University of Nevada, Reno. A couple of Wolfpack members on this Diamondback team. Conrad Schmidt, a rookie, just called up. Part of Gary Powers' program.
Fastball is high to even the count at a ball and a strike. This will be pitch 100 for Tim Lincecum. And it's a swing. And going to miss 1-2.
Good changeup. Just throw it out the outside corner and just let it lose air. It just sort of leaks down and away. You can come up with a fastball above the hands, back foot slider, curveball on the plate. You can go another changeup. And this is what's hard about hitting Lincecum in 2 strike scenarios. He's got 4 ways to get you.
Foul at the plate. It stays 1-2.
Slider. And again, this is a new toy. This is a pitch he didn't have 7 starts ago. It's an idea just how athletic he is and how much confidence he has. He picks up the tip about how to grip it, throw it from Matt Cain. He takes it in the game. It's been there ever since. Not afraid to throw it 3-2.
Got him. 10 strikeouts. Burrow to lead things off.
agent. Call 800-FARMERS today. And by Xfinity. TV, phone, and internet. Reinvented.
All right, let's check out our McDonald's game summary. 3-1 Giants on the Pat Burrell 3-run home run. Drew has got a couple of hits, including a home run. Kennedy was very good. And Lincecum, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts. And that's our McDonald's game summary.
Lincecum, 7th time this year he's had 10 or more strikeout. 26th time in his career. How remarkable has he been?
Here's DJ Carrasco to Pat Burrell.
Take a look at the numbers for Carrasco. 63rd time he's come in. Carrasco is one of those guys who can do a lot of things for you.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog expert. And now it's 1-2.
Carrasco, a 5-year veteran, 33 years old.
Two pitch coming up to Pat Burrell. And Burrell shoots one, and it's caught by Johnson.
Well, let's go back to the 4th inning with 2 on, nobody out, and Pat Burrell steps up against Ian Kennedy. He takes a sinker at the knees, inside corner, and he launches it into the bleachers in left field. That's our Dodge Ram drive of the game, and that swing of the bat has been the difference in the game, and the Giants are holding on to that 3-1 lead.
Here's Guillen, who walked, and he's popped out. We talked about Carrasco and his socks when we were in Arizona. It is the Steve Bedrosian look. And I just like saying his name because I really like the guy.
Yeah, he was a good Giant.
And a sharp ground ball to Johnson, who will make the play, 2 outs.
We got a chance to see Steve Bedrosian when we were in Arizona the last time. He and his wife were there at the game. And he looks the same.
He looks exactly the same. And that's exactly how Steve Bedrosian wore his socks. I remember the first time I faced Steve Bedrosian, I was just new to the National League. I was like, who is this guy?
Well, you got to have some calves if you're going to wear it.
3 pitches, and I was back in the dugout still wondering who was this guy.
What did he throw to you?
It was just fastballs, and he was blowing.
Yeah, he had good stuff. Fastball, slider.
Oh, and 2.
Good hard breaking ball from Carrasco.
Quick inning for Carrasco as we will head to the 7th.
Giants are taking on the D-backs at 12:45. If you're one of the first 5,000 to donate food or $5, you get to go home with a Giants grocery tote presented by Visa. All proceeds benefit the San Francisco Food Bank. For tickets, go to sfgiants.com.
Seventh inning as Lincecum goes back out on the hill. 3-1 Giants. And it'll be the top of the Diamondbacks lineup, Stephen Drew, to lead things off. Lincecum, once he settled in, has really been fantastic first pitch strike.
Yeah, he got his rhythm on the second inning. And when he got his rhythm, he got his location.
Burrell checking to see where Uribe is, and it's going to be Burrell at the end, putting it away.
Now the outfielder is the guy who holds the final vote on pop-ups coming in. It's an easier play. And he will give way, as he did.
Nate Schultz is in right field as Guillen is out of the game. And Abreu takes a strike. I guess my friend Randy thinks that guarding the tarp is important.
He's protected it. I like that.
Andres Torres on the move. 2 outs.
He kept looking to see if somebody was sneaking up on him.
Look at it. Hey, yo, Randy. Come on, you're supposed to be up a little closer.
Yeah, watch home plate, Meat. That's a tip for ball dudes. The action's the other way.
Oh, I can't take my friends anywhere.
Smooth. I don't know what to say.
Here's Kelly Johnson. Johnson has walked and he struck out twice. This will be pitch 109 for Lincecum. And it's high, so it's 3-0. Lincecum taking a little time before he throws this 3-0 pitch. And he walked him on 4 pitches. And the hitter is going to be Chris Young. And Bruce Bochy's coming out. And when Bruce Bochy jogs out, that doesn't always mean the pitcher's coming out. I think he's going to have a word with him.
Let's come out there and take a look at his eyes. He liked what he saw.
Plus, I think in a lot of ways, this is the only time Bruce Bochy gets a cheer.
It's not easy being a manager.
Young has walked twice and he's singled. Mike Riley is going to give Lincecum a new baseball. Low, 1 ball and no strikes. Lopez and Ramirez, the 2 pitchers that Brian Sabean acquired at the trading deadline. One and 0 to Young. Bouncing ball foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, he knows Young sits fastball. He's a good fastball hitter. He's a good mistake hitter. You've got to keep the ball down. Lincecum knows him well. He is a dangerous hitter.
Good pitch, 1-2.
Paints him right at the knees, outside corner.
And now they're on their feet.
I can't tell you what that does to you when you're on the mound, when they get on their feet.
Strike 3 call. 11 strikeouts for Lincecum, and he will walk off the mound tall. Is on deck, so Lincecum's going to be out of the ball game.
He is something.
It'll be Sandoval at the plate.
He is something special.
Down the left field line, Allen will make the running catch. As Sandoval hit it well. This was Lincecum coming back.
He was Randy Johnson coming off the hill, 6'10". Went on the way he pitched tonight. A leadoff home run, first inning to Stephen Drew, and then, folks, that was it. He allowed 5 hits the rest of the way through 7 and struck out 11.
Take a look at Steve Bedrosian. There are the socks, although the stirrups may have been a little lower, but he had the look.
Well, I mean, DJ Carrasco went to Hayward High School. He's a local kid, so he grew up knowing of Steve Bedrosian, and he's got his look.
Even kind of the same windup. This is Eugenio Velez. As a pinch hitter, he's 1 for 6. Two balls and no strikes. On deck is Andres Torres. The Giants trying to add on to this 2-run lead. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike. Out of play. It's 2-2. Tune in to NBC Bay Area Morning News Team for early news, traffic, and weather updates. Weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m. Got him.
Nice tight little cutter. You can tell just by looking at how Carrasco can manipulate the ball and guide movement. He's been a starter. Cutter just stealing that inside location, froze Velez.
That's a strike.
Carrasco came up with Kansas City, was in their bullpen, kind of a swingman for him, and then Kansas City 1 year, 2005, he made 20 starts for him. But definitely a serviceable arm, a guy that can help you out in that bullpen in a lot of ways.
Torres pops this one back. Torres bounces this one to Adam LaRoche, and Carrasco will go 6 up, 6 down, and we will head to the 8th.
Well, today marked the annual Bay Area Chapters Baseball Writers Association's Good Guy Award. What is that exactly? Well, all of your local baseball scribes pick one Giant in the clubhouse that they feel all season long has given them a good quote and been accommodating to the media. So, who is it? Well, they chose Aubrey Huff. I got to speak to Aubrey Huff, and only as Aubrey Huff can do it, guys. He joked and said, good, once I get my 2-year contract, I can stop talking to you guys. Of course he was joking, I think. Gentlemen?
Thanks, Amy. It's all about the thong. 3-1 Giants. Is Javier Lopez in facing Adam LaRoche, and the first pitch is a strike. Ross is now in left field as Burrell is out of the game. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
the numbers for Lopez with the Giants. 26th time he's come in. And look at the consistency. Just 12 base runners in 17 2/3. That's how good he's been. 14 punch-outs against a couple of walks.
Got him.
And he just added to the total.
Well, everyone knows Giants fans are the best in baseball. And to say thank you, Sunday, October 3rd, we're hosting Fan Appreciation Day presented by Scottsdale CVB. And the Giants will be giving away exciting prizes throughout the game to thank Giants fans. The grand prize is a 2011 Toyota Prius. That's right, it's magic inside, and you're the big reason why. Here's Montero. And a strike. 4 pitches, 4 strikes. Five pitches, 5 strikes.
And he is nailing down perfect location. There's so many different things he can do with his stuff because of his ability to adjust his arm angles. I mean, he can throw, from a low 3/4 all the way down to submarine with every pitch.
Got him. 6 pitches,
2 strikeouts. Wow.
And the pinch hitter is going to be Rusty Ryle.
Got to be balanced off the back leg if you're going to adjust your arm angles. And it all starts with your good foundation. If you've got balance in your leg, then you can adjust the arm angles. And it's very difficult to do because you're talking about different release points, above the belt, below the belt, and that's not an easy thing to do.
Ryle bounces this one foul.
Loads up on the inside part of his back foot. Now the drive, and look at the balance and the angle with which he comes to home. And it's a motion that he can repeat, even though his arm angle is inconsistent. And it all has to do with his base.
In tight. We're disappointed. First ball thrown by Lopez.
You wanted 9 pitches and 3 strikeouts, didn't you?
Absolutely. Ties Major League record.
The one thing, if you're going to drop angles with your arm or change angles, you have to be able to throw all of your pitches.
Up the middle, and a base hit. Is it shot right by Lopez? And Parr, is he being called back? He keeps looking over at Kirk Gibson, and now he will hit. A lot of options for Kirk Gibson as far as right-handed hitters, but then Romo's going to come in. But nevertheless, it's going to be Parra at the plate. And he will take a pitch inside 1-0. Two balls and no strikes. Mark Reynolds is on deck. Foul back. 2 balls and 1 strike.
He was on a good swing.
Up the middle. Lopez spears it. Side retired. Fontenot, Huff, and Posey coming up. of what you have seen happen here at AT&T Park tonight? It's a 3-1 lead. And Mike Hampton, the left-hander, is the new pitcher for the Diamondbacks. And those are his numbers. He pitched last night.
He's trying to establish himself as a relief pitcher now. Having pitched the majority of his career as a starter. And one of the tests that you have to be able to pass is, can you pitch back-to-back days? Rusty Rayal is in left field.
Fontenot bounces this one to Kelly Johnson. It runs up his arm, but he recovers to throw out Fontenot. And that'll bring up Aubrey Huff.
Hampton, 38 years old, 17th year at the big league level. We see Brian Wilson starting to get greased up. A 5-out save last night.
Aubrey Huff, a couple of hits. He's 2 for 3. Huff pulls it on the ground, foul.
Oh, let that ball go. Let our ball dude have it.
Chris Beeman had no chance. He was so happy that ball was caught. Yeah, see?
He hadn't stopped smiling since the first inning.
Just wide. 1 and 2.
Tortured and loving it. This guy's having a rough inning.
What if we started high, 2 and 2. Buster Posey on deck. Popped up, maybe playable. Montero has to do the dance over the Giants on deck circle where there's bats and donuts and all kinds of things, but he does. Join us tomorrow. Giants pregame live will start at noon. Right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area and right against Bumgardner. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. We'll be back.
not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LP.
2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Giants with a 2-run lead. It's Sam Demmel to face Giants cleanup hitter Buster Posey. Posey is 0 for 2 with a walk. And he takes a strike. He hit a ball that in a lot of places would have been a home run in the 5th inning, but was tracked down on the warning track by Parra.
See the numbers for Sam Demmel, and just as far as pure stuff is concerned, he's got some of the best stuff on the staff.
0-2 to Buster Posey.
That's a slider. He's got a slider and circle change to go with that fastball or go low to mid-90s.
Final in San Diego, the Padres shut out the Cubs 3-0. Posey takes strike 3 call, and that'll end the inning. We will go to the 9th. It's 3-0, or make it 3-1 Giants. Ninth inning. It's a 3-1 lead for the Giants. It's Beard inside.
Yeah, it is. And there's the man with that beard. 69th time he's come in a game. He's been spectacular. He got 46 saved last night, a 5-out save. 10 of those 46 saves have been 4 or more outs.
Augie Ojeda will be the pinch hitter. Ojeda is a switch hitter. Of course, he will bat left-handed against Brian Wilson. First pitch strike, and it's 0-1. In at third is Sandoval. Huff a couple of steps beyond the bag at first. Just off the plate, and that'll even the count. No fastballs yet thrown by Brian Wilson. In a lot of ways, Mike, he feels like he can control those other pitches sometimes better.
Well, I think for a lot of guys, they feel that the cutter and the slider is easier to control than a fastball. I mean, I've seen it where guys have had problems on comebackers. They couldn't throw the ball properly to first base. And pitching coaches have said, throw the cutter or throw the slider. And for Wilson, I think that's he believes in that pitch that way.
2-2.
But the fact that you're getting 89-mile-an-hour cut or 88-mile-an-hour slider, it's just remarkable stuff. There's a high velocity to those type of movements. And then he can throw 98 on top of that with the fastball.
And that's a check swing foul. And it remains 2-2.
90-mile-an-hour cut is rare. That's why Mariano Rivera with the Yankees so special. I mean, for the most part of his career, he was mid-90s with that cut. They only had one pitch. That's how good that pitch is. You only need one pitch.
Line drive. That's a fair ball down the right field line. There's Nate Scherholtz. Will pick it up, and the leadoff hitter is aboard here in the 9th inning.
You'll hate him, man. He is a gnat in your ear. He will give you a good effort. It's not a hanger. They set up in the outside corner. This thing goes down and in and just drops the bat head on it in a two-strike scenario. And rakes it right down the line. And now everybody else coming up is going to be the tying run.
So Stephen Drew will bat. This pitch is wide, 1-0.
Now, in Wilson's mind, Aggie Ojeda does not exist. That's the beauty of having a 2-run lead.
Reynolds is on deck. Foul back. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. As Jeremy Affeldt is starting to trot down to the bullpen. Remember, Wilson did throw yesterday through 26 pitches. Everybody had the day off on Monday. On the ground up the middle, Fontenot. 1 out. On the play, Ojeda moves to third. But at this point, you're counting outs as Reynolds is coming up. Romo now headed down to the bullpen.
He's not going to take much to get loose. He's already heated up once. Some weird numbers. 32 homers, 84 RBIs. There's not many guys in the league that wouldn't take that. But hitting 199 with 206 strikeouts. Now, those are the problems. But very, very dangerous.
And a strike, and it's 0-1. Reynolds against Wilson in his career is 4 for 11. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Reynolds got jammed early this month, and he's really had a bad bruise on his hand, his right hand. The Giants saw him in Arizona. They really pitched him well. They pushed him inside. It has been a real problem for him to grip the bat.
Those are going to set up in. And he fouls it, and it's 1-2.
And that's how you pitch a guy with a sore top hand, with a sore hand anywhere. You pitch him in. He pulls his target right that inside corner. He just buries 96 right on it.
One and 2. Out of play. With a good swing.
Now they wanted the elevator up around the chest. That was a little low. That's a dangerous pitch. I had to count 1-2. Especially to a guy who's got lots of power. Watch the back shoulder drop in the uppercut, though. And you can take advantage of that by throwing that across the shoulders, but you don't want to hang it. That last area was a little low.
Two and two.
If they'd have set up outside and put that glove out here, they may have got the call, but they were looking for the high elevator. And Mike Riley said no, but that may have been a strike zone.
3-2. Kelly Johnson on deck. And the walk. And here's Johnson.
Hey, you know what they're talking about? They've got outfield down there greased up and ready to go. He's 17 pitches into it. Last night it was a 5-out save for Wilson.
Kelly Johnson, 0 for 5 lifetime against Brian Wilson. Just outside, 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch is a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Cut that outside corner. Shaving that outside corner.
Ojeda's at third and Reynolds is at first. And a check swing foul at the plate. 1-2.
Now, 2 excellent location pitches to get the 1-2 advantage. He cut the outside corner to get strike 1. Falls it up with 96 right on the inside corner. And how good was it? Kelly Johnson could not even get a swing off on it.
They're setting up away. Got him.
He broke him down. Absolutely broke him down. So the end, it goes out away with a fastball, inside with a fastball, and then out away again with a payoff. So cut, fastball, grab some pine.
And here's Chris Young.
That Brewer digging it. Not out of the woods yet.
Chris Young bounces this one into the hole. Uribe's got it on the backhand to second. Ball game. And the Giants win this one by a final of 3-1. And they stay 2 games up on the San Diego Padres with 4 games to go.
Now the magic number is now 3. And they stayed in that good mode where everybody stays positive, led by the little guy on the hill. The 11 strikeout performance by Tim Lincecum. He gave up the leadoff homer in the first, and that was it. The Giants would go on collectively as a group and strike out 14 Diamondbacks tonight. And we'll watch the play that